taking a tasting tour of Lincoln, and today we're at Stur 22. Let's go ahead and check it out. I'm here with Charles Brewer, owner of Stur 22. Thanks for having us today, Charles.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
I'm so excited to talk about all your delicious food and to learn a little bit more about you and your restaurant. Can you tell me how you got started doing this?
It pretty much started back in 2010. I'm originally was raised in Dallas, Fort Worth. My sister, who lives in Dallas at that time, was just showing me all around. And there was this one bar that we went to, was there for like 2-3 hours, eating, laughing, having a good time. On my way back, I was speaking to my wife about it, and I'm like, that Lime Bar, that would be something that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So what I did pretty much to get some hands-on, I kind of learned how to be a bartender, learned how to be, I was in the kitchen for about a year at a restaurant. I was a bartender for 2 years, and I was a shift manager for another year, just to get the hands-on. So as I was writing my business plan about the lounge, I went to a consultant to help me write it. He was reading my bio, and he said that I'm from Africa. I was born there.
Okay.
He's like, aren't you from Africa? I'm like, yeah, I'm West Africa, Liberia. That's where I was born. And he was like, well, why don't you just do African food? And I'm like, okay.
Why not?
I can do that.
Yeah.
Now, I knew very little about cooking African food, but my mom knew a lot.
Yeah.
She knew a lot.
So then all of a sudden you had to be a student, huh?
I reached out, like, hey, Mom, guess what we're doing? We're cooking African food. 2.5 years of trial and tribulations. We was Skyping each other back and forth when I was making it. Sometimes I flew her here, sometimes I flew there, and just back and forth to kind of fine tune how to make certain dishes and whatnot. So I'm like, what else can I do to get more attention?
Right.
You know, one person I suggest I just put Caribbean in it. And I'm like, you know what, that's a good idea.
Well, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited to try some of these delicious things that you have here. So can you tell me what these things are?
So what we have here is the jerk chicken. The way Jamaicans do it, they use a leg quarter, a big leg quarter.
Okay.
So I wanted to make it a lot easier. Most of the food is going to be a lot easier to eat. So they're all going to be stew-based or kind of boneless. This is our jerk sauce. Has a little bit of a kick.
So what are some of the ingredients in the jerk sauce?
There's a lot.
Oh, that's delicious.
Base is definitely allspice.
Yeah.
Thyme.
Okay.
Green onions. We actually put onions in ours too as well.
Okay.
And seasoned salt, pepper.
Yeah.
And then garlic.
Okay.
Those are kind of like the base ingredients, but we put our spin to it. So we add a little bit of brown sugar and a little bit of honey. This is our red beans and rice.
Okay. And these are plantains?
Yep. Grab it with your hands. This right here is the sauce that I brought with. It's a pineapple mango sauce. Oh. So this is what you can dip it in. Just get a little, put it on your plate. Pineapple, mango, we put in a blender. And then the cuisine, this puree, and then what we do, put a little bit of sriracha in it, so you can get a little bit of a heat. But once again, a little bit of brown sugar and a little bit of honey as well. Next, we have our wings. A lot of people saying we have some really good wings. So I'm like, okay, well, thank you. So this is our regular jerk wings, cooked the same way as like we cook our jerk chicken. Okay. We pretty much marinate the wings in our jerk sauce over 24 hours. Let it sit, let it marinate. And put in the oven, give it a little bit of a cook, crisp, and then we put it on the fryer. Wow. And that fryer is when it's ready to order. That's when we put it on the fryer just to crisp it up a little bit. Right. So this is a sampler. We actually have two types of sampler. Okay. This is the regular sampler, then we have the super sampler. Back in Liberia, we eat rice with everything. So we have a lot of different rice options. That yellow rice there is mixed with turmeric and curry. And then the chuck rice, some people call it check rice. That is mixed with actually okra and spinach. So what we do, we take the okra and spinach, cook it, reduce it, put it in the blender, gives it a green color, put some seasoning in it, and then we put on white rice. But we do have a variety of different vegetarian options, from okra to spinach to a pasta, Rasta pasta, vegetarian. And then we're adding a couple of new items in March also. So over here we have the jollof stew. In Africa, jollof rice is a staple. So the way me and my mom made our jollof rice, put a variety of different vegetables in it. And then also we put a lot of meat. Some people in other countries don't put meat in their jollof rice. Okay. So we put meat in our jollof rice. Okay. So when I was making the jollof rice, and I added the sausage and I added the chicken, and The Jello rice was the last option that I was just staring at, and it just looked good. I'm like, you know what? I think this can make a stew. But this is kind of the alteration of the jollof rice, the remix version.
Right. I know jollof rice is one of those really famous dishes from West Africa.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. There's festivals. There's competitions. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Well, that's awesome that we can try it here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Right?
Absolutely. Yes. So next we have a pineapple mango coleslaw. So the same pineapple sauce that we had here, that's what we mix in with the coleslaw. Once again, a little bit of a kick to it. Here, way on the other side is our rum fruit salad. Rum fruit is actually rum sauce that we create, and we just put that on fruit. And it creates this like thick and sweet rum sauce. That is our blackened shrimp Rasta pasta.
Okay.
So we created our own seasoning for our blackened shrimp, which involves, I think, over 7 different spices.
That is so good. Wow. So creamy, there's some spicy, there's coconut milk in there, isn't there? Yeah.
And we create our own sauce as well. That's our lamb stew.
Okay.
And there's a bonus lamb that we cook for about an hour, hour and a half. And then after that, we create this kind of like a brown broth. And then we put the lamb in there and just cook it. It thickens up, add some more spices, and then boom, there it is.
Lots of vegetables.
Not too bad. A lot of vegetables in it. Yep. Everything.
Really savory and.
Everything has our vegetables in it. Yeah.
Could we find this food in the Caribbean or in West Africa?
From the ingredients to make it, yes, you can, but the way it's made is a bit different. The way I like to call my food is somewhat of a modern infusion. So it's not the normal traditional way. For example, I do have one item called oxtail. It's a curry baked oxtail. In the Caribbean, they don't do a curry baked. They mostly have an oxtail stew. So it's like a brown stew with oxtail in it. I decided to kind of flip it up and make curry oxtail.
Nice.
And on top of that, most people, they have the bone. The bone is a big thing in Caribbean and Africa. Cook with the bone, but when we serving it, we want it to be where it's easier to eat for everyone. And I will be adding more traditional items, but I'm not going to take away from my concept, which was to be easier, infused, modern for everyone to eat and feel more comfortable in eating it. Not just our food being healthy, and then we're having the vegan and vegetarian options as well. We do have a nightlife. After 10 o'clock, usually we try to move all the tables out the way, and we bring in a DJ, and we do a lot of events. We do a Latin night. We do an African Caribbean night. We do an old school night. We do a hip hop night. We do comedy shows. We do open mic. We just do a lot of events. We do dominoes and spades.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's just a lot of events just to get people out there, just to get the older crowd, you know, get away from the house, hang out, come and drink, enjoy some refreshment, socialize, mingle.
Do a little dancing.
A little bit of dancing, you know, get that cardio, get that heart pumping.
Right, doing a great job.
Thank you.
And wow, I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. No problem. I appreciate you having me and coming here.
We hope you join us on our next tasting tour of Lincoln.